Jesus said to his disciples, "Be watchful, be alert. You do not know when the time will come. It is like a man traveling abroad. He leaves home and places his servants in charge, each with his own work, and orders the gatekeeper to be on watch. Watch, therefore. You do not know when the Lord of the house is coming, whether in the evening or at midnight, or at the cockcrow or in the morning. May he not come suddenly and find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to all, watch." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Lord, let us see your face, and we shall live. I wonder if the Lord is wearing a mask, and we can actually see him. That is one of the things that scared people back in the Old Testament, was coming in face-to-face contact with God, because his radiance, his holiness was so powerful that it was thought to be a mere mortal could not accept it, could not endure it. So that's why Moses, whenever he would go into the Holy of Holies, when he would go into the tent, or when he was communicating with Yahweh, he would always wear a mask, because the bright light of God's beauty and God's gifts and God's forgiveness and all of the gifts that God has for us is just too much for us to abide by. I wish, at least for now, we could see just a portion of God's face, to see just a little glimpse of God's face, to see what is in store for us when the time comes, when Jesus comes, when we have the second coming, and then we go to spend the rest of our lives eternally in front of the beatific vision in heaven, and what that journey will end up looking like, and what our journey that we have had over the years, how well we have done how well we have responded to what the parable says here, how well we have taken care of what God has given us, how well we have taken care of each other, how well we have shown God's face to those around us. It has been a rough year. And the beauty of this, the 99th week of COVID and the first week of Advent, is that Advent is a chance for us to begin again. It's just like when you've had a really bad day the day before, at least you can say, you know what? I'm going to wake up and it's going to be a new day. I'm going to try something new. What did not work in the past, I'm going to make something work in the future. Same thing with Advent, right? Advent is something, it's similar to Lent, but it's in its own special way. We are looking forward not to the resurrection, but to the coming of Jesus in three different ways. In him coming in history, mystery, and majesty. So Advent season kind of gives us a clean slate. When I'm sure probably a lot of you traveled a little bit over the past week or so, and it never ceases to amaze me whenever I be on the highway and I pull up to a car or pull up behind a car and see mom and dad up in the front seat and see the kids in the back seat, and they're not fighting. They're just they're sitting there looking at either their iPad or their phone or a movie on the back screen built into the car. We didn't have that when I was growing up, right? We didn't have any of that stuff. We had a line in the middle where sister sat on one side, brother sat on the other, and God forbid either one of you cross that line. That probably hasn't changed that much, but there are more distractions. And so what we had, you would go to Cracker Barrel and you would buy these games. And I don't know if they still got them or not, but it would be the book with the special pen that you would buy, and you would color on it, and it would show you different clues. Look at all the gray heads going up and down. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it'd show you different clues to help you do something. And then they had, if you went to Cracker Barrel itself, you could get the triangle checkers game to try and play with that. Try not to poke your sister or brother's eye out with them when you realize what you could do with those golf tees. That was dangerous. But then the one I loved the best, and I think I have turned into it. Think about that little magnetic board that you would take a magnet and you would put pencil shavings on that guy with the big round face and the big red nose. I've turned into that guy, right? Big round face, big ears, big nose, and I got my gray mustache. So I think about that. And then, so what did you do when you got done with it? You just shake it, and you got to start again. Well, this Advent, we get to shake it, and we get to start again. We get to start off with a blank slate. We get to look at the things where we have maybe not had so much success with in the past year. And I think we can all say that we need a reset. We need a do-over. We need a spiritual mulligan. And this is the time when we can do that. This is the time when we go to, we prepare ourselves for the coming of Jesus. And how do we do that? Well, you got your Advent calendars. I got some more, so start out with those. Very simple. Just go through each day, see what the Scripture is, and pray. Think about that Scripture. It's just a little bitty nugget of something to chew on throughout the day. Do that. Let that inform you. Let that reveal God to you in a little way. Pray at home with an Advent wreath with your families, right? Understand, be a part of the liturgical cycle. Let it take you. That's why we still have it. That's why God has given us the church to take us through the 34 weeks of ordinary time, the time of Christmas, the time of Advent, the time of Lent, and the time of Easter, so that we can feel some comfort in it. We know what's coming next. We don't have to worry for a little bit about when is the next bad thing going to happen, how much longer until the election gets counted, how much longer do I have to still wear a mask, how much longer do I have to be separated from my mom and my dad and my grandparents. God gives us this for stability. He gives us this for hope. So as we go through these 4 weeks of Advent, come to confession, right? Confession is just like Christmas shopping. Nobody does it right now, but then over the next 4 weeks, my phone's going to be ringing off the hook on December the 24th. Everybody who wants to come to confession. So we're offering extra opportunities for that. Make sure you check the bulletin. Also check the website. Come in, shake your Etch-a-Sketch. Let God give you a reboot. And let's look forward to a happy Advent and a joyful Christmas.